holidays. Jelly rolls are soft, sweet, and full of a variety of delicious flavors and are a show-stopping dessert on the holiday buffet table. For jelly roll, what can happen? Well, it can be a cracked, imperfect mess, just like this one I have here in front of me today. But today, I'm gonna show you how to make a perfect jelly roll. To start the process, I have 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of cake flour here. And cake flour, again, is a finer flour, a lower protein flour that will really give you that soft, pillowy texture that you're looking for. To this, I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of blanched hazelnuts, and these are slightly toasted. You wanna toast them so that the flavor comes out. And really what I'm gonna do is process this together until the nuts are finely chopped. So this looks good. You can see that there are no really big pieces of the hazelnut left. You don't want any chunks here, and just put this off to the side now while we work on the other component of the batter, which is what leavens the cake, and that is 5 large eggs. This goes right into the bowl of your standing mixer here, and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. So just 2 simple ingredients. And what you're gonna do with this is you're gonna place it over a pot of simmering water. We're dissolving the sugar, warming up the whole eggs. What this will do is it will encourage a maximum amount of volume when we whip this on our stand mixer. It's warm to the touch. I don't feel any of the granules of sugar left, so this is ready to go. I'm gonna remove it from the heat. So this goes right onto your stand mixer with the whisk attachment, and you're going to beat this on medium-high speed until it quadruples in volume and it's no longer warm. So this will take about like 5 to 6 minutes. So it's been about 6 minutes. You can see how nice and thick and voluminous this mixture is. And now what we have to do is gently fold in our flour mixture. So just sift over 1/3 of this flour mixture at a time. And then using a rubber scraper, what you're gonna do is you're gonna gently fold the flour mixture into the eggs. You wanna do this gently, quickly, because you don't want the mixture to deflate. And again, whenever you're folding, you're scraping around the outside of the bowl. You're going underneath and kind of folding over, if you can see it. Again, I'm gonna add another 1/3 of my flour mixture. And this is a classic sponge cake recipe where you're really creating the volume of the batter with whole eggs. So fold this in. I'm just gonna add the rest in. Just make sure there are no giant lumps here. So this is a 1/2 stick of unsalted butter that has been melted and cooled. You don't want this to be too hot because what it will do is it will deflate the batter. So what I like to do is while I'm folding, if you drizzle the butter down the side of the bowl and fold it in gently, it shouldn't deflate the batter too much. So again, you want to make sure that it's not too hot. It should be about room temperature, not solidified. And you want to make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So a very high temperature with the rack in the middle of your oven. And this cake is going to bake for only 7 minutes. So it's very, very quick to bake. I'm going to spread this out into my baking sheet here, which has been buttered. I have a piece of parchment that's been laid down, and then you butter the whole thing and dust it liberally with flour and knock out any excess flour. And this will help to get the cake out of the pan. So spread your batter out into the pan. You want to get it into all of the corners here. It's going to be a very thin layer of batter, but it will bake up nicely. So right into that 400-degree oven, about 7 minutes. So here is our baked cake. Now it's pretty blonde, so don't be nervous. Take a sharp knife and just glide right along the side of the pan, just in case there's any batter that is sticking. And now, what you want to do is take a clean flour sack towel, this is a thin towel, and dust it liberally with confectioner's sugar. This will help here in not allowing the cake to stick to the towel. And what we're doing here, it looks a little crazy and confusing, but what we're doing here is we're gonna turn the cake out onto this surface and we're gonna roll it up. And what that does is it will help in avoiding that giant crack that you might see on your jelly roll. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the pan and you're just gonna flip it right onto this dusted towel. Just like that. And now you might wanna give it a little bit of a push to help it release. Let's see if our cake came out nicely, which it did. And now you just need to gently peel back the parchment paper. And now while this is still warm, we're going to roll this up. We're gonna create the jelly roll. I'm using the short end towards me, and that's how I'm going to roll it up. And what we can do is we can fold the towel over and gently roll this up. Now, a lot of recipes say tightly roll this, and you really don't want to do that because you don't want to crush or compact the cake, but you do want to create a nice roll. And while this cools now in its rolled up form, so this is going to cool for about an hour and a half until it's completely cool. What this does is it creates a memory. We'll be able to unroll the cake, we'll be able to fill it with a wonderful filling, and then roll it back up, and there will be no cracks on top of our cake. So now, just set this off to the side and let this cool at room temperature for about an hour to an hour and a half. And now, it's the moment of truth here. We're gonna unroll the cake. And if you use enough confectioner's sugar, there shouldn't be any stickage, which this is unrolling really beautifully. And now what we're going to do, you can leave it right on your towel, just like this. You can use whatever your favorite jam is. Today I'm using raspberry jam. So just smear this right on your cake, and this helps to add moisture. It also will help to add really great flavor to your cake. You want to leave about a 1/4 inch border along the sides because you are going to roll this up, and what that will do, that compression will kind of squeeze the filling out towards the sides. So don't go all the way up to the sides. So do your best to work it out to the corners here. And now a little bit of whipped cream. So this is whipped cream that has a little bit of Frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur that is flavoring this cream, which is really wonderful. But if you didn't have Frangelico or you didn't want to use any alcohol, you could certainly use vanilla, and just dollop this over your raspberry layer here, and then gently spread this out. Again, keeping that border, that 1/4 inch border. We're gonna repeat the process again, and this cake, it now has that memory, that rolled up memory, so it should roll very easily without any cracking. And I'm gonna start where we were before. So I'm gonna roll towards me, and again, a lot of recipes say to do this and do it tightly, but I really recommend that you do it nice and gently, and you don't compact the cake or the filling too much. So just gently roll it towards you. This time, do not include the towel as you roll. And as you can see, you get a nice, tall jelly roll like this. So now, if you have any extra confectioner's sugar here on the cake, you can just brush that off gently with a pastry brush. And now you can wrap this with plastic wrap, or you can just cover it with the towel, which is what I'm gonna do. And now this goes into the refrigerator to chill so it can set up, firm up for about an hour, up to 4 hours, and then you're ready to serve it. It's nice and firm. Remove the towel. Now just be gentle with this. And now for serving, what I like to do is I like to cut off the ends so you get a nice, beautiful swirl for your guests to see. You can snack on these later. And we'll remove the other end piece, and you can see you get a really beautiful swirl to the jelly roll, the jelly and the cream, nice color. Today I'm just going to garnish with some confectioner's sugar, a light dusting of snow, and I'm using some parchment sheets to protect the platter so that it doesn't get messy. And now just remove these little parchment protectors. And so there you go, guys. You have a beautiful, festive, holiday jelly roll, perfect for your dessert buffet. Now, if you have any baking conundrums, if you have any of those holiday conundrums, write in the comment section below, or reach out to us using the hashtag Kitchen Conundrums. We'd love your questions and your comments, guys. Enjoy. Happy holidays.